Welcome, Sagittarius, to your December new moon reading. This new moon will take place on the 19th or the 20th of December, depending where in the world you are. We are going to be tapping into the energy of the December new moon, a powerful threshold where the lunar cycle and the calendar year intertwine. This isn't just another new moon. It's the final new moon of the year, the point where one chapter closes and the other waits to be written. Astronomically, the moon disappears from sight. Spiritually, that darkness becomes a blank canvas, the perfect space for intuition, intention, and transformation. And because this new moon sits right at the doorway between the old year and the new, the messages that come through the tarot now tend to be clearer, deeper, and more prophetic. This is the moment where the cards reveal what the year has taught you and what it's asking you to release, and what the universe is preparing to open for you as the new year approaches. Sagittarius, this is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm going to start off over here with Work Through Your Fears, New Moon in Scorpio, and I am just going to get your clarifiers. And you have Queen of Swords, the Chariot, and the Sun. Sagittarius, I'm going to take one more card here. I just would like to get some further insight into this message. The King of Wands. Sagittarius, this is an interesting message because I see somebody coming through presenting as King of Wands. Now, Sagittarius, this could be a masculine or feminine. It's the energy of King of Wands I am speaking about. And this is a very big personality. This is somebody, when they walk in the room, Sagittarius, everybody turns to look at them. They are dynamic. They are go-getters. They are successful. This is somebody who treats everybody equally. They are curious about people. Even though they are usually very successful, they've got an interest in people no matter what their station. Now you are coming through here presenting as Queen of Swords. Once again, it does not matter if you are masculine or feminine. It's the energy of Queen of Swords I'm speaking about. Now, as you can see, our Queen's sword is up and she's facing the past. So what I see here is that whoever King of Wands is, they remind you or they trigger a memory of a past event, my dear Sagittarius, that did not go well for you. So this could be that you meet King of Wands this week in a romantic capacity. Maybe you go out on a date with them or you're introduced to them and they are really very engaging, but there's something about them that reminds you of your ex, and the fear now creeps in and you start thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Do I want to get my heart broken again? This person's out of my league. Look at them. They're so comfortable. They're so confident. This person is going to break my heart. So you get triggered by a past memory. Sagittarius, this could be that you go on an interview and the person who's interviewing you reminds you of a past boss who fired you, or perhaps it just didn't end well between you. And once again, when you are triggered by this energy or that old fear creeps in and it can affect your decision whether to take the job or not. Now you have a very clear message. The message is you need to work through your fear. This is just a trigger. It's just a memory coming back from a past experience. It is not at all connected with what King of Wands is coming in with right now. The Chariot is telling you, my dear Sagittarius, feel the fear and do it anyway. Look at our chariot rider. He's got a shocked look on his face, but that does not stop him from charging forward into the future. The Chariot is a fast-moving card of success and victory. If you feel the fear of what King of Wands is triggering, and you still move forward, you work through your fears, my dear Sagittarius, you're going to move straight into the sun. And the sun speaks to us of a place of happiness, contentment, success. The sun is an energy we all strive to achieve. So, my dear Sagittarians, don't let your past hold you back from something that is looking incredibly exciting. Let's move on now and see what deep knowing is all about, and I will just get your clarifiers. And you have Queen of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Star. Sagittarius, when deep knowing comes through, it speaks to us of intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, and hypersensitivity. Sagittarius, once again, I'm just going to take one more card here. The Five of Pentacles. Now, Sagittarius, you are presenting under this message as Queen of Cups. We saw you coming through over here as Queen of Swords, and under deep knowing, we see you coming through as Queen of Cups. Because in this particular situation, your intuition is going to lead the way. This is coming through in an area where you could be feeling and experiencing Five of Pentacles. And I just see this most of all, Sagittarius, as feeling as you don't belong. You don't fit in. These are not my people. Now, this could come through in a work scenario. It could come through in your friendship circle. It could come through with your colleagues at work. It could even come through with your extended family. You know, when you have that awkward feeling about you and you just know that you are not naturally gelling or connecting with the people around you. And I feel for many of you, Sagittarius, it's been quite awkward and quite isolating. And of course, that makes sense when all your colleagues are laughing and joking and planning to go out for lunch and you're not part of it. It's not a good feeling. Now, what I do see is as Queen of Cups, and remember, it doesn't matter if you're masculine or feminine, it's the energy of Queen of Cups I am speaking about. You are going to tap in to your intuition. And when I say tap into your intuition, you're going to stop the energy of blaming yourself. What's wrong with me? Why can't I connect with these people? They all seem to get on. All my friends have got the same sense of humor, and I just don't get their humor. All my friends have got a certain outlook to life, and it's not mine. What's wrong with me? you are going to come to the understanding that these are simply not your people, Sagittarius. There's nothing wrong with them, and there's nothing wrong with you. You're just trying to fit in where you don't energetically belong. And what I see you doing with Three of Cups here is you're going to start seeking a new group of people where you know you're going to fit in. So, Sagittarius, this could be that you start pulling back from a certain friendship circle and you start reaching out to other friends that you know you connect with and you know that the energy flows far more easy. If this, say, is the work environment and you're feeling so isolated, you're going to understand that this is simply just not your place. And I see, my dear Sagittarians, that you might even start looking for another job. And with the star here, what we are being told is that as long as you recognize and identify that there's nothing wrong with you, it happens, my dear Sagittarians. I do believe most of us have experienced it in some way. And you release the blame and the shame, and you make a plan to place yourself in a new group environment. You're going to allow the star energy to come in. You're going to allow the feeling of, oh my gosh, they were just not my people. Now that you are in a new group environment, you will find that there is a lot of fun, joy, laughter, connectivity, whereas before you felt so out and so lonely. Here, my dear Sagittarians, you will experience the complete opposite. And it's just about identifying and recognizing that you're simply in the wrong place. You do not have to suffer it out. Just pick yourself up and place yourself in a new environment. And before long, my dear Sagittarians, you're going to feel on top of the world. A very interesting message coming through there. Now let us move on and see what Know Your Value is all about, and I'll get your clarifiers. And you have Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Now, Sagittarius, this message, Know Your Value, is really the underlying message to our other two big core messages. It's about acknowledging who you are, what you've been through, what you're made of, and not letting your fears and outside circumstances determine the outcome. Knowing your value is about honoring how you're feeling and ensuring that you are taking the best possible action to bring about the results you want to see. We do see new beginnings coming through for you, and we saw this in your two messages over here. This Ace of Cups message is the hand of God coming through with a cup of abundance. This is Spirit telling you it's time for you to experience more. Experience somebody who sees you, who loves you, who appreciates you, who values you. It's time for you to be amongst people who see you for who you are immediately, Sagittarius, where you don't have to explain yourself, where you don't have to feel like the odd man out. Page of Pentacles tells us you're going to start on these new beginnings now, even before the new year. We already see little saplings being planted. So this tells us you're already making those initial steps forward, making the phone calls, doing the research, seeing where, when, and how. That little rabbit tells us these new beginnings that are starting for you are going to take you into a really happy and joyous time, and where you're going to feel lucky and blessed. With 8 of Wands here, this is going to happen really quickly, my dear Sagittarians. This is not energy you have to wait for. This is energy that happens as soon as you take action and you move with our chariot energy. You feel the fear and you keep going forward no matter what. You understand that you simply don't belong and you take yourself out of uncomfortable environments and place yourself where you know you're going to be seen. This happens as soon as you, my dear Sagittarius, identify what's happening and take the appropriate action. But what we do see most of all is wonderful beginnings coming your way that are blessed and endorsed by Spirit. What a perfect way to close off 2025 and enter into the new year. That's all I have for you right now. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I wish you the most meaningful last new moon of 2025, and I am sending you all so much love.